Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome into this week's edition of the Milford Informer. I am Tim Coet. We hope everyone had a terrific holiday season. We are happy to be back for our first 2019 edition of the Informer. Since it was a short work week due to the New Year's celebrations, we do have a shortened edition of the Informer for you. Let's get you up to speed on what we have coming up tonight by showing you our top stories rundown. Tonight, see how the Milford Senior Center rang in the new year and also celebrated the career of a longtime Senior Center employee. And later in sports, we'll show you a pair of holiday highlight reels for boys basketball. First, we'll recap the boys' matchup against Westboro from December 21st. And then we'll show you how the boys fared against another difficult non-conference opponent in the New Bedford Whalers. While most of you were celebrating the new year late into the evening on Monday, the folks over at the Senior Center got an early start on their festivities. Sue Clark and her team rang in the new year with a celebration on Monday morning, one that took on added significance thanks to a special surprise for one longtime Senior Center staff member.
Not just our New Year's Eve party. This is your retirement party. Surprise! And that's why there's so many people here. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous, all these people. That's because we love you. And I just want to say, I came into the Senior Center 5 years ago, and if it wasn't for Dolores, I probably would have lasted a day. But she assured me everything was going to be fine. She walked me through everything. She's been here for 16 years. 17. She knows everything there is to know about the Milford Senior Center, so I don't know what we're going to do without having her here. But I was assured she would be back, and we will take her back graciously. So on behalf of all of the seniors, and me especially, you became such a dear friend. I love you. We love you. We thank you. We wish you nothing but health and happiness. And we'll throw wealth in there too, because that always helps. And really, I can't even thank you enough for everything you do here for us and everything you do for me personally. And it's just, you're a wonderful person and a wonderful friend, so thank you very much.
I can tell by the affection in this room that she's definitely made a difference in a lot of people's lives. And we can't forget her for that. We can't forget her for that. We need to thank her on a daily basis for the services that she's given to this community. And with that, I have a citation from the Board of Selectmen. I'll do my best, I don't have my glasses. Be it known that the Board of Selectmen hereby offer their congratulations to Dolores DeVita in recognition of over 16, should be 17 years of dedicated service to the town of Milford, specifically to our senior citizens at the Ruth Ann Blakeney Senior Center. On behalf of the people of Milford, the Selectmen extend their very best wishes and express the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all your endeavors, given this 31st day of December, 2018.
Dolores has been with us for 17 years, and she has decided to retire. So with that, it's bittersweet. We're very sad to see her go, but we're thrilled to see her go on to the next chapter of her life. I'm sure she'll still be here visiting with us and helping me out as much as possible.
So I must say that it's with mixed emotions that I'm here today to wish Dolores well as she meets the next chapter in her life. She's just been such a joy and a pleasure to be here, and really just synonymous with the Milford Senior Center. You've always been a part of this, and you always will be a part. So with that, I too have a citation. This is from the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offer its sincerest congratulations to Dolores DeVita in recognition of your retirement from the Ruth Ann Bleakney Senior Center, following your dedicated and compassionate service to the seniors in Milford as program coordinator since 2002. The entire membership extends its very best wishes, expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors. It's given this 31st day of December 2018, signed Robert A. DeLeo, Speaker of the House, offered by State Representative and good friend Brian Murray.
You know, I don't like to be the center of attention. I like to be in the background with the people, so it was embarrassing, but I'm very grateful at the same time. I love my job. I love all the people. Yeah, it's going to be really hard. I've been just trying not to think about it too much.
While many around the community enjoyed time off around the holidays, the Milford basketball teams remained hard at work. The boys and girls teams combined for 3 games over the course of the holiday break, and our Milford TV coverage did not miss a second of the action. Let's get you caught up with these holiday highlights. The Milford boys began a stretch of back-to-back non-conference games on December 21st with a matchup against the Westboro Rangers. Westboro, like Milford, advanced all the way to the D2 Central semifinals a year ago and returned a talented and experienced roster for the 2018-19 season. Sporting a new alternate home uniform, the Hawks came out roaring in the early minutes of the first quarter. Off the opening possession of the game, Dom Schofield would help create some space for Brendan Saylor, who would drain the step-back 3 to put Milford on the board. On the next Milford possession, it's Saylor showing off his facilitating skills as he finds Brendan White cutting to the basket for an easy 2 points. White would return the favor a few minutes later off of a Westboro turnover. White's pass handcuffs Saylor a bit, but he's able to recover and drains a nifty turnaround jumper to put Milford on a 7-2 run to open the night. Momentum would start to shift as the quarter went on. After Milford failed to cash in on an extended trip up the floor, Westboro would use their transition game to push the ball ahead to Quinn Donahue, who would power through a double team to get the shot and the foul. Donahue would tack on the and one, erasing the early Milford lead. Late in the first, look at the athleticism shown by Westboro's Dominic Caspariello. He chases down the loose ball and manages to deflect it right back to his own teammate before falling out of bounds. The Rangers would be rewarded with another transition bucket to help them extend their lead. Westboro would answer the early Milford run with a 17-7 run of their own that gave the visitors a 5-point lead after 1. The Rangers would keep the pressure on as the game shifted into the second quarter. They'd assume a 10-point lead before Danny Corsini was finally able to break up the run with this layup. On the next trip up the floor, they'd put the ball in Corsini's hands again, and this time he drills a 3. The senior would stay red hot through the final minutes of the first half.
To White. White back to Corsini. He throws up another 3. Nailed it! Danny Corsini is on fire. And he signals for the Milford crowd to make some noise. Brendan White comes down with it, and they're going back the other way. Corsini led ahead. Off the glass for 2 points and a foul. Darling comes down with it, leads ahead White. Now White to Corsini, looking to challenge his man. Corsini, spin move, off the glass. 2 points, that one's good again. Danny Corsini is on fire.
Corsini would pour in 16 points in the second quarter alone, helping Milford cut the deficit to just 4 points as the teams reached the half. After Milford had seemingly stolen momentum back heading into halftime, Westboro would wrestle it right back in the third quarter. Here it's Jake Hughes who powers his way past White and Saylor to get to the rim for the layup that once again gave the Rangers a 10-point lead. It would be a 13-point Westboro lead when they would show off some high-quality passing up the floor off the inbounds pass, resulting in a wide-open three for Alexander Badger that would make it a 54-38 Rangers lead. Fast forward to 5.5 minutes to go with Westboro on the verge of putting the game away, Colby Perez comes through with his first points of the night to give the Hawks a little life. Then off a Westboro turnover, Brendan White would dribble inside and he gets his shot to fall, cutting it back down to a 10-point margin with 3.5 to go. But Westboro would coast to the finish line from there, ending the game on an 8-3 run. Despite a career-high 26 points from Danny Corsini, Milford would lose to Westboro by a final score of 74-59. After Christmas festivities wrapped up, the boys were back on the court on December 27th, hoping to finally grab a victory against a non-conference opponent as they welcomed in the New Bedford Whalers. After missing a series of baskets and free throws through the opening minute of the game, Milford would get on track thanks to some good work inside by Brendan Saylor, who times the shot perfectly to get his team on the board. From there, the Hawks would get a big boost from their big man Dom Schofield. With the shot clock winding down, Saylor would dish the pass to Schofield, who would connect on the short-range jumper. Just seconds later, Colby Perez pushes the ball ahead to Schofield in transition, and watch as Schofield executes a beautiful spin move and then finishes at the rim to give the Hawks the lead. Schofield would score 6 of Milford's first 8 points on the night, and would then notch an assist here as he finds teammate Jordan Darling with the pass under the basket, and Darling lays it in for 2 more. From there, Milford would turn up the pressure on defense. First, it's Saylor and Perez who team up to force the New Bedford turnover, which would lead to a breakaway chance for Brendan White on the other end of the floor. Then on the ensuing inbounds for the Whalers, Perez is able to intercept the New Bedford pass and immediately takes it to the hoop, giving Milford 4 consecutive points off of turnovers. The Hawks would surge over the final minutes of the first quarter, capped off by a buzzer-beating 3 by the new Milford sharpshooter Danny Corsini, allowing Milford to carry an 8-point lead after 1. Early on in the second quarter, it's good passing from Saylor and Corsini that leads to a wide-open look under the net for Darling, who finishes. Milford would have the opportunity to create separation in the second quarter, but a series of missed shots would keep the score largely unchanged until the late stages of the half. Finally, with just about 2 minutes to go, Brendan White would spring loose into the far corner. He drained the shot while taking contact from the Whalers, resulting in an eventual 4-point play for the Hawks. Milford would end up carrying an 11-point lead into the half. Coming out of the break, New Bedford would quickly cut it down to a 2-possession game, but once again White would have the response, putting up a quick 3 on the other end of the floor. But moments later, Whalers captain Dejan Schumack would take the ball inside and would take contact from Jordan Darling, getting the shot and the foul. Schumack would miss on the free throw, but Carlos Lugo Sanchez would fight for the rebound and he'd put it back, giving New Bedford 4 straight points to again cut it to a 2-possession game. Every time the Whalers would cut it close, Milford's senior captain Brendan White would be there to provide some breathing room. Here he knocks down another 3 to put the Hawks up to 37 points on the night. Then just seconds later, with White double-teamed, he passes to Jordan Darling wide open on the wing, and his shot falls to put Milford back up by 8. Darling would keep looking comfortable behind the 3-point line. Later in the period, Sutherland pushes the pass back outside to the sophomore, and once again his shot is true, pushing the lead back over double digits, where it would remain heading into the fourth quarter. A minute into the fourth, it was back down to a single-digit lead when Danny Corsini would unleash from long range, knocking down the shot to prop the lead back up to 11 points. All night long, the Hawks would step up in key situations, maintaining their lead right down to the final buzzer. Milford finally grabs their first non-conference W of the year as they take down the New Bedford Whalers by a final of 60-51. The Lady Hawks basketball team was also in action over the holiday break. They took on neighboring rival Hopedale in a non-conference game on Friday, December 28th. Milford had won their last 4 straight meetings against the Lady Blue Raiders, including a pair of blowout victories last season. With Milford still in the process of rebuilding, the matchup played out a little differently this time around. After a very low-scoring opening quarter that saw the teams combine for just 14 total points, Hopedale was able to open up the score in the second, scoring 16 points in the period to take a 25-13 lead. The Lady Raiders would continue to pull away over the course of the second half. Backed by a game-high 22 points from freshman Bree Frangillo, Hopedale would go on to defeat Milford by a final of 48-26. Emma Lawrence was once again contributing a strong offensive effort for Milford, scoring 13 points, good for half of the Lady Hawks' overall point total on the night. The girls then squared off with Norwood on the road this past Tuesday, where they sadly dropped their 5th straight game to open up the season. The Lady Hawks lost to the Lady Mustangs by a final of 61-19. We'll have more coverage of the Lady Hawks coming up tonight and again on Tuesday as the girls face a brutal stretch of opponents. The girls take on undefeated Foxborough in the Milford gym tonight, and they will then square off against the Mansfield Lady Hornets on Tuesday. You can catch live streaming coverage of both games on our website or on the live stream app, and you'll also be able to check out the games later next week airing on our educational channel as well as on YouTube. And now let's get to this week's upcoming events. Coming up on Saturday, everyone in Milford is invited to a special grand opening event. Health Source, America's chiropractor, will be hosting a grand opening at their brand new facility located inside Milford Square Plaza. Health Source will be welcoming residents with food and prizes while giving everyone a chance to meet their team. The grand opening for Health Source, America's Chiropractor will take place on Saturday, January 5th at 138 South Main Street, Unit 14, just a short walk from our Milford TV studios from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And coming up on January 10th, join the Milford Area Chamber of Commerce and Craft Roots Brewery as they host a craft beer kickoff. You can kick off the new year by meeting up for a fun night out with games and networking. All young and aspiring professionals are welcome. The Craft Beer Kickoff is taking place on Thursday, January 10th, over at Craft Roots Brewery located at 4 Industrial Road from 5 to 7 p.m. Anyone looking to attend is encouraged to register in advance. To register, simply log on to milfordchamber.org. That's going to do it for this shortened edition of the Milford Informer. As we enter into the new year, we want to remind all of our viewers once again, if you have an idea for a news story, or you know of an event coming up in the community that you would like to see us cover, please contact us here at the studio. You can also reach out to me directly by sending an email to news@milfordtv.net. We hope you will join us again next time. Until then, from all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.